Hello, I'm Jaynee from Messages from Heaven by Jaynee on YouTube. You can read me there or on my website, which should be up pretty soon, or at spiritsbyjaynee at gmail.com. Um, I want to, I want to talk about marriage today. Um, Today, really, no one has to get married. If you're really young and you get pregnant, you don't have to get married anymore. Um, as far as I can tell, and I really am. I mean, I'm an East Coast person. Maybe in places in the middle of the United States, people still feel shame about being pregnant and not being married. But to tie yourself up with someone that you don't feel very strongly about is really a waste of your energy and time. As long as that person, if you're going to have the baby, that person will be involved. If not, will someone else be involved? Will someone be the father figure or the mother figure? Those are important. Children deserve to have parents. Um, to that end, I believe in foster care and adopting kids. When you adopt children, you are actually adopting a child who belongs in your family as it happens. You're not really, you feel or think you're adopting a stranger, but you're actually not. You're adopting either someone who was in your family before and who decided to come down and be your child, uh, or someone who was a miscarriage for a member of your family. They're always actually members of your family. That should be a show on its own. It's really important. But I wanted to talk today about being married. I've been married for 60 years. Um, we did get married young, and we've been through probably all the problems that people have. At a certain point early in the marriage, everybody fights. Um, it's just because none of us are the same. No matter whether you grew up next door to the person, or it's a person from a different neighborhood or a different city or a different country, you're always going to be different. You've been raised differently, even if you're the same religion and the same ethnicity, you're still going to be different. There's no way. I mean, of course, you can be more different or less different, but my husband and I were raised in the same city, same religion, um, same ethnicity. We were still different, um, very different. And I learned a lot from him, and I've dragged him through every adventure that I've had because I tend to be an adventurous person where he is not. Um, he was more of an authoritarian, and I am a authoritarian fighter. I was raised to pretty much hate authority, and that's how I am. Um, he he turns out to be great with paperwork and money, and so I let him do that. He's really good at it. Uh, you do after a long time. You do realize what you do well and what the other person does well, what you argue over, and what you get along about. After all these years, he has surprised me. Our dog she's a German Shepherd, mutt, little bit of a mutt, um, but mostly German Shepherd, and she's very old for that. She's 15 and a half, and she's dying. And so, usually, or sometimes when animals die, they lose control of their body functions. So she's pooping all over the house. My husband, Harry, was not an animal lover. He's cleaning up because he gets up earlier than I do, and he's just picking it up. Um, Today, one of our cats was walking around holding up his right paw, and Harry was upset about it. He's changed. People do change. Of course, he's 80, and that in itself would probably cause changes. But I think what I want to say is that none of us stays exactly the same. We do learn. We go to school, we don't go to school, and when we read or we don't read or we watch television, even television teaches you things. Um, People learned a lot when there was a show on about a gay couple with a child, and that changed the minds of a lot of people. But the fact is, if you work together and you talk to each other, when you have arguments, instead of sitting there and butting heads, go away, go out of the room, close the door, wait till you can talk to each other calmly, and then come back together and discuss it. And if you come back together and you find you're still fighting over it, go away again and wait until you can talk about it. Try again. Sometimes people make lists of everything one does and then a list of everything the other does, and that way they realize possibly one person is doing more, or they see the other person is doing a lot. Let me take a drink. I haven't covered very much, but um, it is not easy. It is very difficult. And if you don't come to blows, consider yourselves in good shape. Um, if you feel hate for the person, just think about it because it's unlikely that it's being triggered by your husband or your wife or your partner. It doesn't matter if it's two women, two men, whatever. Um, Probably not your dog because dogs can't really tell you what they're aggravated about and they don't do the dishes or wash clothes. Um, just that, anything can be worked out and it's understandable to fight. But if you feel hatred, you want to walk away and you want to start thinking, why am I feeling hatred? And if it doesn't come to you and you're meditating, well, I hope you know what um, tapping, EFT. I hope you know what that is. You know this stuff. Let's see, this, um, that, and that. Um, it it looks ridiculous, but it is a very good way to look at what you're thinking, what's behind what's conscious, and that can help you figure out what's this hate about. You know, why such a strong reaction to I don't want to do the dishes or whatever. Hate, that's very, very strong. Although I mean, of course you can feel it, but I'm trying to say that there's probably something going on that's not related to your partner. Um, Not everybody listens. I certainly know people I care about who don't listen. You could be talking and they're supposed to be listening, but they're really not. Um, Find out about it. Are you being boring? What's happening? Why aren't they listening? Uh, the other thing is your partner can't be everything for you. It doesn't work like that. you have to have other people in your sphere too. Um, one person can't answer every need that you have. So just realize it. And um, if you need someone to talk to who listens harder, maybe talk to somebody else. Um, think about who you have to talk to. There are always professionals. Um, if you're older, like me, Medicare covers, they cover psychiatrists, they cover psychologists, they cover counselors. So you don't have to, you don't, you don't have to hit your partner over the head with a brick. It's sometimes, and don't, um, sometimes you just really need somebody to talk to, or you need a partner to walk with, or to sew with, or to do whatever. Um, it's good to have hobbies. It's really important in life to have things that you do beside work. I know a lot of people get up, go to work, come home, either make dinner or eat dinner, and watch television and go to bed. If you love it and it's what you do, well, then that's fine. Um, we do need really to talk to one another, to have relationships. Um, Even if you can't get everything from your partner, you still need to talk to that person, and that is important. Um, you need to talk to the person. You need to have hobbies, and I'm telling you, from an artist, you can draw. You don't. It doesn't have to look like anything. It can be like one of my granddaughters um, looked at a certain one of my drawings and said, "Scribbles. Who cares?" Point is, it's fine, and you can write. You do not have to be a fabulous writer at all. It's not for publishing, it's for you. I just was looking at something that I wrote from 2007, '08, and pretty boring, but the point is, I wrote it, and so can you. You can make films too. Um, Everything is open. Good luck. I hope that this helped in some way. If you want to talk with me, um, just contact me at spiritsbyjaynee at gmail.com. I do readings, and um, I I'm also life, what do you call it, life coach. It's very hard to remember words. It's so hard. Get older and things definitely change. It's harder to walk, forget words. Uh, okay, but you don't, you really continue to think. Okay, thank you very much for looking at it, and bless you. Good night, good afternoon, whichever it is. Okay, bye. Push the buttons. Push the buttons. It helps. Helps me, but it doesn't do anything to you. All right, bye bye.